Let's begin with a hard truth. Most people don't become wealthy because they never learn to think like the wealthy. It isn't that they lack intelligence or ambition. It's that they've been trained to think in ways that limit their financial potential. From a young age, we are taught to trade time for money, seek safety over opportunity, and rely on others to provide the path. This isn't a mindset of abundance or ownership. It's one of survival. If you want to build real wealth, you have to challenge the script you were given. You have to change the way you think about money, value, and work itself. This shift doesn't happen overnight. It's not just about motivation or good vibes. It's about rewiring your brain to see income, time, and resources differently. Wealth builders don't ask, "How much does this job pay?" They ask, "How can I create something that pays me over and over again?" They aren't trapped by titles or hourly rates. They look for systems, leverage, and assets. Most importantly, they understand the power of mindset, not as a buzzword, but as the foundation of every financial decision they make. Replacing the scarcity mindset. Let's talk about scarcity. Scarcity is the belief that there is never enough. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough opportunity. It makes you reactive. It forces you to think small and act out of fear. When you believe resources are limited, your choices shrink. You take what you can get, not what you deserve. You cling to jobs you hate and underprice your value because you're afraid there's nothing better out there. This mindset isn't your fault. It's the default programming of a society that thrives on control. But it is your responsibility to break out of it. Scarcity thinking will sabotage every wealth-building move you try to make. It'll whisper that you're not ready, that you'll fail, that you're being greedy for wanting more. Contrast that with the abundance mindset. Abundance doesn't mean delusion. It means recognizing that value is everywhere and that you have the ability to create more of it. It's the belief that even if something doesn't exist for you, yet it can be built. That wealth isn't stolen or inherited. It's created, often from nothing more than an idea, a skill, and consistency. When you adopt an abundance mindset, you stop focusing on limitation and start focusing on possibility. You begin to ask better questions. Instead of, "Why can't I afford this?" you ask, "How can I afford this sustainably and wisely?" Instead of thinking in terms of cost, you begin to think in terms of value. Detaching time from money. The biggest mindset leap most people need to make is this: money does not have to be tied to your time. That's a revolutionary concept if you were raised to believe your only value is in hours worked. It's also one of the biggest separators between the working class and the wealthy. We are taught to believe that if you want to earn more, you must work more. More hours, more effort, more sacrifice. But wealthy people don't think like that. They don't assume more income must mean less freedom. In fact, they actively seek out ways to earn without trading their time. This is called leverage. Leverage means using something once to get repeated results. It might be your money, investments, your skills, digital products, content, licensing, or your systems, automated services. When you think like a wealth builder, you ask, "How can I set this up so it earns while I sleep?" You move away from being the labor and toward being the architect. Think about it. If your income is capped by your hours, your growth is limited. If you can only make more by working more, your body and your time will eventually become the ceiling. But when you begin to build things that operate on their own, whether it's a blog, a book, a product, or a business, you break that ceiling. Taking ownership of your earning power. To think like a wealth builder, you have to stop waiting to be picked. Stop waiting for a raise, for permission, for the economy to get better. Ownership means looking at your current circumstances and saying, "What can I control? What can I build? Can I learn? that will make me more valuable tomorrow than I am today. This is a radical mindset for anyone raised in the traditional employment model. You may have been taught that your boss determines your worth, that your income is someone else's decision, that opportunity comes to those who are lucky or highly educated. But wealth builders don't wait. They don't hope for better conditions. They create them. That doesn't mean they don't work hard. They often work extremely hard, but they work differently. They think in bets, in experiments, in iterations. They see every skill learned and every hour spent building as a form of equity. Ownership means seeing your time, knowledge, and energy as resources to invest, not just spend. It means rejecting the victim mentality and replacing it with creative responsibility. No, you didn't start the race at the same point as everyone else, but you have the power to move forward in a different way. Building a long-term vision. One of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make is from short-term thinking to long-term vision. Wealth isn't built in a month. It's built in layers, small, steady steps taken consistently over time. Most people operate on a 2-week or 30-day mindset. That's not a character flaw. It's a reflection of how most people get paid. But if you want to build wealth, you have to break out of the paycheck mentality and step into the investor mindset. This means asking, what am I doing today that's going to pay off in a year, in 5 years, in 10? This shift changes everything. You stop chasing quick fixes. You stop getting discouraged when something doesn't pay off right away. You begin to understand the compound effect, how small actions repeated over time build exponential results. Long-term thinkers are patient, but they're also proactive. They don't just dream big, they act small, daily. They keep learning, keep iterating, keep building, and most importantly, they keep showing up even when there are no immediate results. That's the mindset that builds wealth. Let's bring this mindset shift home with something crucial: the ability to take action without seeing instant results. Most people struggle with consistency, not because they lack discipline, but because they've never been taught to believe in a long-term return on effort. If the payoff doesn't show up in a week, they assume it's not working. That's the mindset of a consumer, not a builder. Wealth builders learn to act before they see the reward. They plant seeds in the dark. They understand that progress is invisible long before it's measurable. That one blog post may lead to 10 readers, and then a year later, 10,000. That one conversation might open the door to a partnership or a client or an idea that changes everything. They don't need proof before they believe. Their belief drives the proof. This doesn't mean you work blindly or without feedback. It means you stay focused on the process, not the prize. It means you don't quit just because you're tired or bored or uncertain. You stay with it because you know every hour invested compounds. Every lesson builds a foundation. Every small effort is a deposit into your future wealth. Here's the truth. Your mind will try to talk you out of this. It'll tell you you're wasting time, that you should be further along, that you're not doing it right, that other people have it easier, and you have to be ready for that voice. You have to talk back. Instead of asking, where are my results? Ask, what am I building today? Instead of asking, is this working yet? Ask, how can I improve this? Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask, what if I learn? That's the mindset shift, from outcome to process, from doubt to development, from waiting to building. One last thing, mindset doesn't mean perfection. You will have off days. You will feel discouraged. You will compare yourself to others. But mindset is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. The more you choose to believe in long-term value creation, the more momentum you build. And that momentum is what carries you through. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the next step with a wealth-building mindset. Focused, patient, empowered. That's how you build a different future. That's how you stop surviving and start creating. That's how you think like a wealth builder.